Many of the materials we rely on every day come from the ground, and modern mining technology brings them to us. You can learn more about America's natural resources at nma.org, the National Mining Association.
From the Watergate Building in Washington, this is Hotline TV. Now here are Hotline editors Chuck Todd and John Mercurio.
It's Hotline TV. I'm John Mercurio.
And I'm Chuck Todd. Barack Obama posted a video on his own website and YouTube yesterday declaring that he is filing papers to establish the Exploratory Committee. John, let's parse his candidacy, but let's do so while we listen to a little bit of what Barack said, because I don't think anybody's heard it yet.
No, I don't think so either. And what is this YouTube you're talking about?
We'll find out in a minute.
As many of you know, over the last few months I've been thinking hard about my plans for 2008. Running for the presidency is a profound decision. A decision no one should make on the basis of media hype or personal ambition alone. And so before I committed myself and my family to this race, I wanted to be sure that this was right for us, and more importantly, right for the country. America's faced big problems before, but today our leaders in Washington seem incapable of working together in a practical, common sense way. So even in the midst of the enormous challenges we face today, I have great faith and hope about the future, because I believe in you. And that's why I want to tell you first that I'll be filing papers today to create a Presidential Exploratory Committee. For the next several weeks, I'm going to talk with people from around the country, listening and learning more about the challenges we face as a nation, the opportunities that lie before us, and the role that a presidential campaign might play in bringing our country together.
All right, let's do this in simple scouting report terms. There's sports analogies here.
I'm
that
aware.
You know.
I'm aware of them.
Why is he going to win?
Because I have goosebumps right now just talking about Barack Obama.
Yeah, you're that
Most of the
excited.
media, he's the media darling, and I think that's going to continue for a little while until he messes up in some way. Look, he's always been against the Iraq War. That, at least at the beginning of the campaign, is a very good thing. Hillary Clinton, John Edwards both having voted for the Iraq War at the beginning and now changing their position. He's not Hillary Clinton, so he automatically attracts a pretty dramatic number of people. And he talks about this new kind of politics, which doesn't, it's sort of like Jell-O. You can't really touch it. You don't know what you're talking about exactly. But it appeals to everyone, Democrat, Republican, Independent. He's going to win.
I had a Republican email
He may
me.
win.
I had a Republican email me this morning from Iowa, a pretty high-profile Republican operative there, who was just lamenting that they don't have an equivalent. It bothers them. They realize this guy is just has that star power, whatever it is. Whatever you want to talk about, you can't, we sit here and we want to dissect it in political terms, but there is this sort of, he's become larger in life, and they're jealous. They don't have it. They had it in Reagan.
Right.
They thought they might have it in Rudy.
George W. They thought they did have it in
Well,
George
not quite.
W.
They sort of, W became that for a short period of time. Rudy, I think, is the closest they thought they would get to it about a year or so ago. He almost had that. Arnold would be the closest they'd have, but he can't. He can't do it.
And the problem for Republicans is that they were so prepared. They've spent the past 6 years basically preparing for a run against Hillary Clinton. If she's not the nominee, that's 6 years of Oppo research
I've always
out
joked,
the door.
the single most powerful Democrat that could come in 2008, the person that beats Hillary Clinton.
Sure.
It would be seen as this thing.
Sure.
Okay. One other reason I think that if he wins, we'll say, well, it was preordained, is the times. Sometimes a candidate is just there at the right time. It's the moment. And this whole post-partisanship thing that you brought up, if that is if the populace is as hungry for it as I think we think it is.
As I think we think.
That's right.
As I think you think
Then-
we think they are.
Well, there you go. Then he could end up sailing to this thing and may not be stopped.
The problem
He'll have
is
some
that,
hiccups, but he may be much harder to stop than any of us realize.
I hear what you're saying. I think the problem, though, is that we talk about the times,
Right.
and it's the trap we in the media and everywhere people fall into all the time, thinking that the times of the campaign
was the last election, right?
Well, right. We're thinking of the times of January of 2007 have anything to do with January 2008.
The times
you've got to just allow the year to play itself out.
As the narrator in that Ron Burgundy movie said, the times they are a changing. We just don't know what they are. Okay.
I agree.
Now,
I agree
why
with
is this
Ron
thing?
Burgundy.
Why is this a false premise? Why does he lose?
So many reasons you can't even begin to count. Look, he's inexperienced. He's had 2 years in the Senate. That's way too little, especially in the post 9/11 world.
More experience than Abe Lincoln, but anyway, go
He
ahead.
is African American. That is still becoming, I think a lot of people talk about how they would support Barack Obama. They talk about how they think that America is ready for...
So you say America's racist. Okay, go ahead.
I'm saying that that a segment of...
51% of the country is racist.
That a small percent of America is still hardcore racist, would never vote for an African-American
51%. Okay, go ahead.
And he can never live up to expectations. He could never... Look at the expectations we're setting up for him. He basically has to walk on water. He has to sing Jailhouse Rock and Hound Dog, You Ain't Nothing But a Hound Dog, on, national television, or he's gonna depress expectations.
Have you ever seen him not walk on water? Okay, then.
That is an excellent point.
I mean,
Chuck,
the People...
for once, you're actually making a very good point.
The People magazine thing showed us that,
That he has a gut.
that he's a gut, but he was elevated on water. He was walking a little bit on water.
That is very, very
Maybe
smart.
that is what they got. Look,
Chuck Todd,
I think
smart
if he loses, it's because of a couple things. One is the Clinton machine is just too hard to overcome. It's more powerful than we could
He will
possibly
never
imagine.
have Bill Clinton on his side.
And I think the other reason would be, I don't agree on the race thing. I actually think we're past that. I think it would be because of Bush, and I think the inexperience that Bush brought to the presidency could be the silver bullet, and just say, well, hey, look at the last time we had training wheel presidency. Look what it got us. Do we want another one?
I'll take issue with one thing that you accused me of saying. I don't think 51% of Americans are racist. I do think, though, that there is
Enough.
a segment of Americans
What'd you say,
who
enough?
would never. I don't know if it's enough. That's a question.
We'll see.
We'll find out.
Well, before we go, should we check the Obameter?
Let's.
Do we need to check the Obameter? Where are we today? I think we're clearly. This is where the media is. I think we're clearly in. He's above measuring the drapes. I think he's borderline.
Why? Because he announced?
Oh yeah. Come on.
Come on.
Oh yeah. No, that was an Oval Office address.
I
right?
agree that it was up. He's up, but it was nothing
that's
special
where we were
about
last
the
time.
candidate to candidate
Oh
announcement.
man, no. He is godlike. He's a floating head.
He is with me.
Give it to me one more
He is in
time.
my heart.
One more time. He's like floating. He's up here. He's bigger than all. All right, there's our wrap on Obama's prospects. Join us tomorrow for a look at what is now the Democrats' best pickup opportunity for the Senate in 2008. Thanks for watching today. I'm Chuck Todd.
And I'm John Mercurio. We'll see you tomorrow on Hotline TV.